So this is the first of what I'm gonna call super ramblings, right? This is where I just like come in and I talk to y'all about things that just peeve me, especially in Final Fantasy. This first video is about Final Fantasy 14 in particular, right? Especially with the recent, goings on with things like machinists and everything, right? Blah 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 blah. I just want to talk about it because I think some people have kind of forgotten. Like nowadays, people have forgotten that like locking out a class does not do anything for you except for potentially just block players that really actually are good at that class and can low-key carry. Alright? Because I will say this now. I personally think a shitty dancer is 100 times worse, right, than just having a half decent machinist. Because if you're bad at dancer, but you're half decent at machinist, especially in some fights, it's like you'd rather take the machinist. Like that's just the truth, right? And so I think some people got to realize machinist isn't that bad. Machinist is not the reason why you're not clearing, and machinist is not the only. Machinist is not the reason why you can't like progress in fights, right? Machinist might not do the highest amount of damage, but it can still do damage. Some people gotta realize, bruh, that you are not world racing. It is week 3. People are coming in 747, 745, 750, right? We should not be like. There's no reason to gatekeep no more, y'all. It's week fucking 3, not week 2. It's not week 1, right? We're not at the point where it's like you could like, hey, we might be running this shit at an island level. Again, you might have to switch. Okay, that's fair. That's valid, right? That's whatever. If someone like, in that case, there's not a whole lot you can do about that, right? As a machinist, it's like you might not get fed gear in your static, yada 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 yada, whatever, right? But it's week 3, y'all, and y'all are still trying to lock out machinists. Locking out machinists won't make you clear. You're just bad. It's okay to say that. It's okay to be like, hey, maybe we're just heavily inconsistent. Because if you're not clear, what makes you think that if you haven't cleared with a machinist, that you're gonna clear with a fucking dancer? If the dancer can still troll the shit out of you, that doesn't stop anybody. And this goes on to a second thing, right? I got two things today. This is a 2-in-1 episode, right? I had to get the machinist shit out, right? I genuinely believe that Tombstone and like checking people constantly is the reason why a lot of you niggas cannot clear, bro. It's the reason why a lot of y'all cannot fucking clear. This is not me trying to hate. This is not me trying to come out and be like, oh my gosh, you shouldn't check people. Oh my gosh, I love prog liars. I love them. They're my favorites. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that if you're constantly tombstone checking people and you're constantly gatekeeping people off, you're like 30% or lower, below 15% in rage, below 2% in rage, below X, Y, and Z in rage, right? You're not gonna clear that. Like you're limiting the amount of people that can join to people who are at 2% in rage. If you're at a 2% in rage, right? That still means you fucked up somewhere. That either means you fucked up somewhere or you have shit damage. And so you're not you lock yourself out of potentially competent players for people that are consistently hitting 2% in rage. If you're consistently hitting 2% in rage, there has to be a problem and with how someone is doing damage. Whether that be you or someone else. You should not consistently hit 2% in rage. I just don't believe that. I don't believe you can. I believe like the way a lot of these fights are designed. Like if you're hitting 2% in rage, that usually means someone is fucking up already, like a rotation or something. So why are we just locked? This look, man. I unironically think that you prog fights faster when you don't check people. And this is coming from someone who cleared M6. I cleared M5 and M6 like almost on the same day. M6 took me a while though. I won't lie. I cleared M6 day 3, but like even then, like I know a lot of people that were stuck on M6 literally the whole week. How? That fight's not hard. That fight is not hard. Ads weren't that hard. Ads were fine. I did ads on machinists. I want people to be like, that's why I made that machinist rant, by the way, because I did that shit. I cleared that fight on fucking machinist to prove a point. Look, man, that fight is not hard. That fight is people make that fight so much harder than it needs to be because they consistently block out people. They're like, oh, don't prog glide. Oh, don't do this. Oh, don't do that. Yada 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 yada. Let me check your tombstone. Let me check this. Let me check that. If you consistently do that, you narrow the amount of people that are realistically going to join your party because they're like, I'm not even gonna deal with you because I know the moment something happens, you're just gonna dip. You're gonna try and reform the party. You gotta, and this goes on to another thing, right? We might get hit at. We're gonna hit a 3-1. Please, for the love of all that is good, that is great, that is almighty, everything that you know, bruh. Please, please, please do not fucking disband the party after two like ad wipes. Don't disband the party after like two wipes to whatever mechanic, right? Or after three wipes, four wipes, whatever. You gotta thug it out. I'm telling you, I promise you, if you thug it out with a group, you are 10 times more likely to clear. Because then everybody kind of starts to go like, okay, we gotta lock in. We're wasting each other's time. Unironically, right? This is not even me trying to be funny, right? The easiest way to tell if people have raided or not is how willing they are to just stay in groups. Now, do I think you have to wait? You don't have to waste your time if you don't want to. If you don't want to stay for long, hey man, it's okay. It happens. If you just want to go, if you want to quick in and out, and you just want to keep rotating through parties, hey, you know what? You do you. That's fair. But in my opinion, you ultimately have a higher chance of clearing with the group if you just stay like, because that way people like there's certain things that people do that like people gotta adjust to, right? As an example, you might have to adjust to how people are pulling their stuff. People might pull their like cooldowns differently, right? And so Yan might dive quicker or slower, Cat might die quicker or slower, blah 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 blah. So you gotta give people time. Like objectively speaking, the longer you're in a group for, the better and more consistent people will get because people are going to be like, okay, I know what everybody's thinking now. Y'all gotta remember, you're still playing with 8 random people for the most part, right? Like just chill out sometimes. Some of y'all gotta chill out and relax and understand that you're playing with different people and that things can happen. All right. Now this is the end for rant for today. I might have another rant later on today actually, just depending on how reclears go. But I just had to get this off my chest. Thank y'all for listening, or if you decided not to, because I yapped for 7 goddamn minutes, valid. So yeah, I'll see y'all later.